everybody who is watching this video. My name is Olenjolai Moko TAYAI Single. I'm very happy that you have welcomed me into your mobile phone, into your computer, into your smartphone, into your television. So I would like just to take this moment to introduce myself. My name is Olenjolai Moko TAYAI. Let me repeat. My name is Olenjolai Moko TAYAI. Oh, my name is Teacher Olenjolai Moko TAYAI. I'm from United Republic of Tanzania. This is our national flag. I would like to welcome you also into our beautiful country. Well, I would like to welcome you onto this fantastic lecture or sessions, which is called which are called the session or lecture 00, the general introductions of differential questions and complex variables. Well, so that's the session. But before I take you into these general introductions and share to you about the contents, first of all, I would like to welcome you onto our global and onto our national institutions that called Online Undergraduate Polytechnic Institute of Tanzania. Welcome to our Online Undergraduate Polytechnic Institute of Tanzania. And also, we'd like to take that opportunity to welcome you onto our YouTube channels that called the Online Undergraduate Poly Institute of Tanzania, in square bracket OLENJOLAIM. But currently, let me explain in brief about this online school. Okay, so Online Undergraduate Polytechnic Institute of Tanzania. This is the online platform which actually that we are trying to, which have a vision. We have a vision, so we have a vision, and also we have mission on it, and we have main objective, and we have some specific objectives that we have, which we are actually trying our level best to meet. In this online polytechnic institution, we have these visions that it has been revealed in our heart, right? This is the vision that we have. We like to be a part of incubating, or we like to be a part of teachers or of training, whatever that you call those people who used to teach people, who will be teaching just some undergraduate students who are ready to take the classroom instructions in engineering and scientific courses and combine with the spiritual knowledge of God and solve the real life problems. Let me repeat, this is the vision that's in our mind. We like to prepare students, we like to be a part of, preparing undergraduate students in engineering and in engineering courses or in scientific courses, who will be ready to take the classroom instructions according to the curriculums of any institutions or any college or any university, and combine with the spiritual knowledge of the Word of God. That means that the truth, the Spirit of God, in order to solve real life problems. So our main objective in this institution is to see that, first of all, ourselves, as teachers or as trainees, we like first of all to be a part to show our students how they can solve real life problems. So our main objective in this program is to see our students during their learning period or after graduations, their graduations, or even after the post-graduations, means that they have graduated 10 years ago, they are solving real life problems. That's our main objective. Some of our specific objectives will make them to love engineering and scientific mathematics, but another specific objective will help them to pass their testing, test 1, test 2, university exams, even in some of the institutions they call it final exams. So we'll be helping them. That's one of our specific objective. When you say specific objective, it means that it's one of the goals that we have to make sure that we meet. But our main goal, to see our students solving real life problems, because we are born in order to solve problems. Either a single problem or more than one problems. So that's what it should be in your mind. So even myself, I was born to solve the problem that I'm solving right now. to help students or to teach students or to train students concerning about different issues in mathematics and also engineering, including scientific area. So that's our main objective. Well, so another question that you can ask yourself, whether you're guardians or you're a student, you're undergraduate students, or you are pre-undergraduate students. The next question is, what problem are we solving? Well, so it happens that myself, when I was doing my undergraduate studies in United Republic of Tanzania, in one of the institutions that called Dar es Salaam Institute of Technology, I experienced many challenges on learning engineering mathematics. And even because we have some other, we had one course in science that called lab technology and the lab science and technology. So not only myself that I was experiencing that challenge, so even my classmates that experienced the same challenge. That's not only that, but after my graduations, I taught engineering mathematics for almost 3 years. Because I taught 2 years when I was undergraduate students, I taught my classmates and even the next classes, and then I taught for 3 years after my graduations. So what I noticed that I can't estimate, but it's more than 75% of undergraduate students, they used to experience many challenges on learning and mastering modules or courses in engineering and scientific mathematics. There are many causes of those problems, but we'll be focusing on some of them. So we cannot just give you a promise that we are going to eliminate all of them, because sometimes it can be caused by the lazy students, which actually that even in these programs we don't entertain them. So simply, the problem we have noticed is it happens that many students in undergraduate engineering and science courses, they experience difficultness in understanding, mastering, and even and even loving modules or courses in engineering and scientific courses. So mathematics, it means engineering, mathematics, or scientific mathematics. So how are you going to solve? Well, we are going to use different teaching methodologies, different teaching aids, different teaching approach, different teaching techniques, different teaching style to make sure that we take those complex concepts that we know that the students, they might think that these are difficult for them to understand, and even sometimes that they used to cram. So we'll be using all the techniques or different techniques in order to make sure that we teach students, and we make sure that when we convince them or we transform them to love engineering and scientific mathematics for the rest of the year life. Not only during the year life, not only during the learning periods, but even after the year learning periods, they have to love mathematics, because they are going to encounter it for the rest of the year life, as long that they are going to work in engineering and scientific area, okay, of life. So that's how are we going to solve this problem. Another thing that we used to tell even our physical students when I've been teaching them for almost 5 years. Okay, so I used to tell them this phrase, and it's a very strong phrase on my side. Olenjolai does not know everything concerned about engineering and scientific mathematics. I just know small portions of it, but I'm ready to teach what I know for other students. That's all. So I don't know everything about engineering and scientific mathematics. I know small portions of it, but I'm ready to train or to teach others what I know, because teaching has been built in me by God who lives forever. So right now, I would like to welcome you, as I told you, in our online undergraduate Polyinstit of Tanzania YouTube channels, in square bracket OLENJOLAIM. And today we are in departments of higher engineering and scientific mathematics. And then also the course that I want to share with you, or to give you the general introduction, is called Differential, Equation and Complex Variables. And this course is often taught in second semester and second year. So again, this is session on lecture 00, the general introductions of differential, equation, and complex variables. I would like just to give you the general introductions of what are we doing in this online platform, right? Firstly, we'd like to ask you that, we'd like just to answer your questions how you can get registered onto this online platform, because this is the online platform. Well, so the way that you can just spend 3 or 2 minutes just for you to be registered, because we are going to upload many videos, more than hundreds of the videos in this in our YouTube channel. So for our YouTube channel, we encourage you, or we insist you to do the following for your benefit. Number one, we insist you that to have your email. In case that you don't have an email, just to go online and write how can I have an email, or how can I open a new email, right? Or that is. So it means that it can be Gmail or Yahoo Mail. So you have to make sure that you have it, and then you sign in YouTube, and then you go into this. You write this. Just write this name: Online Undergraduate Polyinstit of Tanzania /OLENJOLAIM in the search engine, or YouTube search engine. Then the channel will come there, and once that you click the icons for the channel, which is the very interesting icons, okay, then you'll see a red button, a software buttons that is being written subscribe. So number one, the first thing that we insist you that click these buttons by using your mouse, the point of your mouse. Once you click these buttons, then the change color. First of all, it is right before subscribing it was white. Then now it's changing the color into gray, and afterwards, once you click that buttons, then you find that there is a bell that's appeared, right? So you find that soon after you click that buttons, then you see the bell, right? So this is the bell. So you see the bell appearing there. So with this bell, you mean that it's indicating something is going on. Excuse me. So once you click, you find that the bell is appearing. Okay? So the bell will appear. So once again, after you see this bell, you have to make sure that you choose the options that you have to take. So if you click this one, you will see some options: all, personalized, or none. So choose all. That's the second step. Firstly, sign in with your email. Secondly, then press these buttons of subscribe. Why should you subscribe? That's the very important questions. The aim of you to subscribe is to give YouTube community the permissions to give you notification once you are online, once that we upload any new video. So the YouTube community will give you official notifications once you are online. So that is, so it means that the YouTube community will be responsible to give you information that we have added or we have uploaded a new video, so you can go through it. That's the main objective for 40 of subscribing. Secondly, we'd like to ask you that to click these software buttons that has been written show more. So these software buttons that has been written show more, then you have to make sure that once you click it, you can have voting, you can have comments, okay? No, show more. So this is really will give you more descriptions concerning about the video. So if you click the show more button, you'll get more descriptions concerning about the video. And so what descriptions should you expect? So first of all, these descriptions will tell you what the lecture about. Okay, next it will tell you even some more information. It will give you some other links of our YouTube channels and even our social network links, so that you can just click and then be there, or even you can share with some of your young brothers or young sisters who under that level, or even yourself, you can take advantage to visit some other channels. So that is number 2. Number 3, we ask you that to share these contents. We like to see that this content, because we are focusing on the curriculums of United Republic of Tanzania. So we like to see this knowledge is helping thousands of the students, or even millions of the students after a certain specific time. So we ask you that to share these contents with some of your classmates, just share this content with your schoolmates, with your classmates, with your roommate, during the secondary education, possibly with your neighbors, see, with your students, if you're a teacher, if you're a guardian, also share this content with some other guardians or some parents. So it's very important to share in order to make sure that you get the benefits and advantages on this program. Again, firstly, we like to insist you that, or fifthly, we like to insist you that you can use the comment sections, because many students, they can ask themselves how we can interact with you. So you can use the comment sections for interactions. It means that these comment sections can use, number one, just to establish the online group discussions. Number two, you can use the comment sections to read the questions have been asked by other students. Number three, you can use the comment sections to give us the feedback whether you understand what we've been teaching you. Number four, you can use the comment sections also to ask questions. That's the point that we are going to interact about the particular video. Number five, you can use the comment section to submit homework, because I'll be leaving homework often and even possibly in every lecture. So make sure that you can use the comment sections to submit your homeworks, and even some other teachers or somebody else in the world can help you in case that you are finding troubles and so forth and so forth. So those are very important information for you to be connected on this program. Well, so now let us go to the general introductions, as I say to you. Number one, first of all, this is when we say the universities in Tanzania, right? So the way that we can categorize colleges, universities, and institutions in Tanzania or in African continents. Well, so with these classifications, we have two routes, or we have two branches. We have NACTE, National Council for Technical Education, and also we have TCU, which is Tanzania Commission for Universities. These are legal authorities supervising on the higher education, So NACTE, this one actually that is accrediting institutions, mostly institutions and even some of the colleges which are technical or which are focused on competence-based program. Okay? And also TCU, so for instance, for example, the National Institute of Technology is under NACTE, Arusha Technical College is under NACTE. So we have several institutions which are under NACTE. Those are just examples. Karume Institute of Technology and Science is under NACTE, etc. Then you have TCU, the Tanzania Commission for Universities. This is focusing with all the universities under this authority, government authority. They are focused on knowledge-based. Right, so if it is engineering and engineering courses or scientific courses, they are focused on knowledge-based. And then, so that is very important. So for instance, this models of differential equation complex variables, it's one of the way it has been designed is according to the NACTE requirements, so or NACTE curriculum. So I will be presenting this one on behalf of NACTE, and even the contents might be similar to some other institutions which are under NACTE authority. So that's the piece of information that I wanted to share with you. So for instance, under TCU we have University of Dar es Salaam, University of Dodoma. So those are the universities which are reliant on the TCU. So again, we'd like to welcome you, our dear viewer, okay, to enjoy the beauty of higher engineering and scientific mathematics at OPIT. OPIT means that in Online Undergraduate Polytechnic Institute of Tanzania, OPITO, okay, because the founder is Olenjolai. Again, in these online institutions, we'll be teaching you different concepts, we'll be teaching different examples, we'll be teaching you on how you can solve questions, engineering and scientific mathematics questions. We'll teach you about applications, right? Where do we apply these informations? How can you apply them? Because you can know where you apply, but the issue now is how you can apply them. Okay, so that is the piece of information that we like just to share with our students And it's very interesting because differential questions and complex variables, that's very interesting. Very interesting subject. Okay, so now let me take you onto this big picture in my mind concerning about mathematics in general, and then the big picture in my mind in engineering, in engineering, in high engineering and scientific mathematics. Okay, so we had this is called I call it big picture. I would like to teach you with the big picture in mind, big picture of maths, right? So, and this is my big picture, right? Possibly it might not be somebody's picture, but this is picture in my mind. Okay? So we have a very interesting subject that's called the mathematics. Say mathematics. So mathematics, this is, we call it the queen of engineering. So listen carefully. We began the journey of learning fundamental mathematics during our primary education. And this we call the fundamental. Okay, so it says that possibly can have, some of you began this fundamental in nursery, but for myself that possibly that I began it during my primary education. So it means that we have nursery, and some of us are primary education. So what we have learned fundamental of mathematics, whether in Swahili language for Swahili medium schools, primary schools or nursery, or in English. Afterward, once we graduated the primary education, we passed the next exams for or the next exams. Then we met with two types of mathematics at O level. The first subject is called basic mathematics. It's called basic mathematics. While the second one is called the addition mathematics. So these are the 4-year subjects. So we used to study from Form 1 to Form 4, and even this one, that is a 4-year subject. So from Form 1 to Form 4. For some of the schools. So this is, we call it O level or ordinary secondary education, O level secondary. So O level secondary education. O level secondary education. So O level secondary education. O level secondary education. Okay? O level secondary education. So that is what we used to experience. Okay, O level secondary education. So it's basically mathematics. It was a compulsory subject for every ordinary level secondary student, right? But additional mathematics, this was, first of all, it was not offered in all the schools. At some of the schools, especially for those lovers of mathematics, they used to learn additional mathematics. Okay? So, whether that, because this is compulsory, so when even those that who have taken the additional mathematics subject, they also must learn basic mathematics subject. But you know, if you are if as students is the love of mathematics, this is the best route to take both of them, because you get prepared. You won't get a lot of struggles once you go to A-level education. So then after you graduate in these two levels, right? So with a certificate that called the Certificate Secondary Education Examination, we have 2 routes there that we can take. Okay? So you can take 3 rounds, not 2 rounds, 3 rounds. Okay? The first one, you can go to advanced level and learn as a mathematics subject that we call the advanced mathematics. Advanced pure mathematics. Advanced mathematics or advanced pure mathematics. And also we can go to A level and then study a subject that's called the basic applied mathematics, or in short we call it BAM. Or we can go to the ordinary diploma and then learn basic special applied, basic special applied mathematics. Okay? So with this one, advanced mathematics is taught from Form 5 to Form 6. And then next, even this one, we covered it during our Form 5 to our Form 6. But basic special applied, this is for ordinary diploma, okay, or even certificate. So basic applied mathematics, and this is for the first year, from first year to the 3rd year. And it will have 6 modules in total, in many of institutions. So for certificate, it's used to, the certificate is based on what, on 2, it might be 2 years, but this is, I'm focused on ordinary diploma and another. So special applied mathematics. So after graduating, the following routes, or even this route, all of these routes. For these routes, you graduate advanced certificate secondary education examination. And for this route, you'll be graduated certificate of National Technical Award, NTA level 6. So NTA level 6, which is technician, is for the technician. So when you graduate and then you want to reach to the higher, then you can go into this route, right? You can have 2 rounds, right? One route you can go to the higher pure mathematics, higher pure mathematics. It means that these are mathematics courses, right? It means that it courses, or you can go into some other programs. This is, we call it higher engineering, higher engineering and scientific maths or mathematics. Okay? So this is a level that where we are right now. So I'm teaching you higher engineering scientific mathematics. This is a higher pure mathematics. So once we graduate, or you graduate there, and then you want to continue with mathematics, then you have, okay, so you can go to the next level, right? If just you focus on this, okay? The next level, you'll go for the master engineering, master of engineering, or scientific maths. And once you graduate there, you graduate in that level, we can meet with advanced we call it PhD mathematics, advanced PhD engineering or scientific mathematics. So advanced mathematics in engineering or scientific mathematics. So this is applied or still applied mathematics. So you need this mathematics in order to apply on our learning process. So that is the general introduction. So it means that we are in higher and scientific mathematics, and then if we go the next level, this for undergraduate, for the bachelor level, we can have masters in engineering or scientific mathematics, and then next we can go to advanced PhD engineering and scientific mathematics, which now it's a further specializations program. So this is the big picture. That this from the foundations means from the numbering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and hence that will be, we used to have a process. It means it's a journey. Right now that we are teaching you at this level, but you have to bear in your mind that you have to keep that, and you have to understand that you have to expect to meet another advanced or master or another higher engineering and scientific mathematics in master level, and even that you can have that engineering or scientific advanced PhD in mathematics. It means that advanced PhD engineering engineering or scientific mathematics. So then you know that what will be next there. Okay, so then it means that solving real life, so research. So you'll be doing research, okay, on solving real life problems. Because that's why you've been studying mathematics from standard D1 or from the nursery to the PhD level. So this, the big picture, should be in your mind. This is the big picture that is in my mind. So we should have something, a big picture like that, in order to enjoy the beauty of engineering and scientific mathematics. So currently I will be teaching you under this level, and I'll try my level best you love it, because possibly you still have a journey in engineering and scientific mathematics. So I'll be trying my level best, and I'm praying to God to help me to make sure that you love engineering and scientific mathematics for the rest of your life. Okay, so I would like to take you on to the next step, which is reference books. Now I want to mention the reference books, and the reference books that will be essential for you during your process of learning engineering and scientific mathematics. Okay, so because I want for you to know the reference books, so that even sometimes that you can go through yourself, and even with the accompanies of your classmates, and yes, and even you might understand where the contents have been collected or have been taken. Okay, so let us continue with our general introductions of departments of higher engineering and scientific mathematics. So right now, I would like just to, as I said, that we have TCU, we have two accredited or two legal authorities, which is NACTE and the TCU. And I would like to mention, I would like to mention some of the universities that have departments of higher engineering mathematics or higher scientific mathematics. In many institutions or in many colleges or universities, this department is called general department. Why it is called general departments? Because you find that even some other fundamental modules or courses are taught by that department. For instance, entrepreneurship, financial, technical communication skills, and so forth. So some of these institutions or higher institutions or universities, I would like just to write some of them. We have, I will write in abbreviations, the largest and the first university in Tanzania is called the University of Dar es Salaam, UTC, right? And then this the second one. So this is the, just in terms of performance and even the age. Yeah, so it's University of Dar es Salaam. And then the other ones is University of Dodoma, so UDOM, right? UDOM. So again, we have some other institutions. It's called the Dar es Salaam Institute of Technology. This is DIT. And also we have another institution in Zanzibar that called the Karume Institute of Science and Technology. Also contains the departments of engineering and scientific mathematics for the higher education of undergraduate educations. And also we have also another institutions called the Mbeya University of Science and Technology. Also we do have another institutions or another university that called the Aris University, okay? And then the other ones is called the Arusha Technical College. And then the other ones is called the Al Maktoum, so that Al Maktoum. We have also St. Joseph College of Engineering, St. Joseph College of St. Joseph University of Information and Technology. So it's called that St. Joseph University of Information and Technology, and there is St. Joseph College of Engineering and Technology. So this one, and then there is again. I would like to mention 10 institutions or colleges or universities in Tanzania that are offering engineering courses and scientific courses, and they do have departments of engineering and scientific mathematics. They call it general study. Some of the institutions, for example, the Institute of Technology. So also you have even in Kistit, mean that Karume Institute of Science and Technology. Also you have Zanzibar University, State University. So it is called the Zanzibar State University. So ZASU. So it's called the ZASU. So abbreviation is ZASU. Zanzibar State University. Then the 10th ones is called the United African University of Tanzania. So the United African University of Tanzania. The United African University of Tanzania. So these are the 10 examples. These are the 10 institutions or colleges or universities that are providing, and the students who are in these universities, they have to pursue higher engineering and scientific mathematics are the fundamental modules. In some of the universities, for example, at the University of Dar es Salaam, all the in the COIT, there's a College of Engineering, we call it the College of Engineering and Technology, that the abbreviation of COIT. They really the students that have to learn some 4 modules in each engineering course and even in science courses, which actually that they call it is maybe for instance, the first module is called the matrices and the basic calculus for non-major. So they call them non-major. So these are some of the institutions in Tanzania. There are more than 10 institutions or colleges. So if you're a student, so you have your students in this in this list of universities or institutions or colleges, then these contents will be relevant for them. And even online, undergraduate Polytechnic Institute of Tanzania will be providing material as a supplement of what you'll be learning in these institutions or universities. So that is the real situation. Now I would like also to mention, in brief about, because in these online schools, we'll be teaching by using the curriculums of University of Dar es Salaam as this the fundamental curriculum for all other institutions, for all other universities and the colleges which are under TCU. And also we'll take a look on, I'll teach 4 modules of UDOM, and I will teach 4 modules of Dar es Salaam Institute of Technology. These are the fundamental institutions for the basic, for competence based. It means that for all the institutions which are non-active. So I will be using the curriculums of Dar es Salaam Institute of Technology, but the material will be useful for any of these institutions, because really what we are studying, curriculum is still the same, just we differ, or these institutions or colleges, they differ in some of the contents, that maybe you find some of the contents are covered in UDSM, but some of those contents are not covered in DIT. So it means yourself for the students, because I will be giving you reference material that you need, you should make sure that you have the course outlines, which will give you the outlines of what you have to cover. So right now, I would like to present to you about the modules or the courses that I'm going to teach you in this online school. Very interesting for you. Okay, so let me begin with University of Dar es Salaam, right? So modules or courses of mathematics, right, for engineers. For engineers at the University of Dar es Salaam. Okay, so the first is, so we have the courses that you have to cover during your first year. And if you're first year who watching this video right now, you're warmly welcome. There are modules for the 2 semesters. The first semester, you'll be learning the modules, the module called the 161, which is called the matrices and basic calculus. Matrices and basic calculus. Basic calculus for non-measure. So this is the first course, and even I've made the general introductions of it, so you have to make sure that you look lecture 00, the general introductions of matrices and basic calculus. Okay, so this is the first semester mod course. Then the second course is called MT 171, and this is called the one variable. So it's called the one variable. So at University of Dar es Salaam they call it one variable. And even in many universities, one variable. So it's a one variable calculus and the differential equation, okay, for non-measures. This is the second semester module or course. Okay, for the second year students at University of Dar es Salaam, there are 3 modules. Okay, the first one is called the several variables, so this is called the MT 261. So it's called it that several variable. These are the long terms, just I'm abbreviating because of the stress of the blackboard. Several variables calculus, which I'm going to teach you. Several variable calculus for non-measure. And then for the second semester, I will teach you about MT 200, so MT 271, which is called the statistic for non-measure. So the good news is you will get all the materials. I will teach you concepts, tutorials, We are going to solve tutorials in all of these 4 courses. So stay connected because I will take you step to step in each of those courses. Then now let us go. If you go under the NACTE, the modules of mathematics, okay, for engineers under NACTE, so as I say that we'll take a reference of DIT, okay, then we have first year, the first one is called the calculus. It's called calculus, and basically I will teach you 7 topics there in calculus, and these topics will be focusing on just limit, Laplace, and the Fourier series. Then the second module for the first year is called advanced calculus, and advanced calculus will just cover calculus. Advanced calculus will just cover beta and gamma function, Fourier transform, and inverse, Fourier integrals and Fourier transform, partial differential equation, and also will teach you about vector calculus. Okay? Then for the second year, at DIT or under NACTE category, whether that it is Bayer Institute of Technology and Science, of the Institute of Science and Technology, or it's arbitrary technical. We have also the first module for the first year, for the first semester. And these first modules is called what? So the first module is called the differential equation, which I will teach you. Differential equation. So I'll teach about differential equations and complex variables. Okay, complex variables. Then we'll finish learning the process of probability and statistics. So that will be the modules of semester 2 and statistics. So probability and statistics. So those are the 4 modules that I'm going to teach you. So 4 plus 4, total will be 8. So you'll get everything concerning about these modules in this channel. Again, we say that's why that will be equipping you. We'll be teaching about modules of mathematics, right? Modules of mathematics for engineers. Okay, for engineers. And this will do let's take the reference for TCO and UDOM, University of Dodoma. That's a reference. So at UDOM, we have some reference courses. We call them TN. So the abbreviations is called the TN. So for the first semester or for the first year, the students have to learn the following modules for the following courses. The first one is called the TN 111. This is according to you have to learn if you be a student of 40 students of linear algebra, students of College of Informatics and the Visual Education, linear algebra at the first module. Second module is TN 120, and this is called the probability. So this will be the second semester module. It's called the probability, and this is the cross-cutting course for all the courses. I think that for 95 courses of UDOM. Then afterwards we will teach you about TN 121. 100 TN 121, and this is called the Calculus 1. So Calculus 1 will be covered in second semester of the first year. So that will be the end of first year. So for the second year student at the College of Informatics and Visual Education, the students has to learn a course in mathematics in only the first semester. So it's called the TN 210, and this is called the calculus. In some of the institutions or colleges, they call their modules Engineering Mathematics 1, Engineering Mathematics 2, Advanced Engineering Mathematics. So don't get confused about the names of the modules. Just what you have to know, the contents that you have to cover. And that's why I tell that. So it means that in this in online undergraduate Polytechnic Institute of Tanzania, I'm going to teach you 12 courses or 12 subjects. These are the 4 subjects for University of Dar es Salaam, UDC. These are the 4 subjects or 4 modules at University of Dar es Salaam Institute of Technology, and these are the 4 courses at University of Dodoma. So it doesn't to use the curriculums of UDSM or DIT or UDOM. It does not mean that we are going to ignore some other institutions or colleges. These material are cross-cutting materials. They can be used elsewhere in this country of Tanzania, and even in African continents, and even in the world, because mathematics is common. So you have to get connected and then check about your course outlines. Possibly the name might be differ from these 12 courses, but that's not a great case. Just check the contents, because in every course, before I begin, I will mention the subtopics that we are going to cover, so you'll know that whether we will be touched about your modules, which is not in this list or not. So you have to be careful that once you'll be watching the video. And we used to put our videos in form of playlist. First of all, if the video is longer than 1 hour, we can break it and make it different. For instance, that lecture 01A and lecture 01B. So you have to be aware about that. So we will be together, and I will be taking you step to step in each of the module or each of the course until we finish it, and then we'll go to the next module. So that's the promise that I want to give you. And I would like to ask you to pray for me, because really this day, it's interesting, very interesting, and even it's hard work. Okay, so now let me take you into the fourth part of this general introduction, and it's called reference books of differential equations and complex variable as the third module for the third modules of fundamental engineering and scientific mathematics for the higher technical institutions for undergraduate students. So you know that in case you want to learn a certain course or certain knowledge, it's better for a person who is guiding you, or who is leading you, or who is teaching you, who is training you, to give you the reference material, that even yourself, you can go beyond of what has been taught. So I would like to list some of the reference material that I use myself, and even some other teachers also who are teaching higher engineering and scientific mathematics. They do use it. So you can have either soft copy or hard copy of this reference for your benefit. So I would like to start. I categorized these into 2 groups: textbooks, and also you have question and answer books. For textbooks, they give you explanations about the concepts, or they explain the certain concepts, and they can give you some examples just to accompany the explanations. And then there's the exercise at the end of each chapter. Those are that category of the books that we call them textbooks. Question and answer books, they don't explain concepts by using descriptions. They just explain in terms of the questions and the answers. So let me begin with the textbooks as a reference material for the differential questions and complex variable. The first contents that you need is course outlines from the module or your course master. Means that you have to ask once you are physical teacher or lecturer or tutorial assistant, just a physical teacher who is assistant lecturer or lecturer will come to teach you about differential question complex variable. You have authority and you have permission to ask the course outlines from him. So that's very important. So for regardless of which institutions you are studying right now, regardless that which department you are, but in case that you want to understand undergraduate mathematics, then you have to make sure that you should have a course outlines in your hand. So that's the first reference. The second reference, you may you may use this book that has been written by EQUATION. That's called Advanced Engineering Mathematics, which is the 8th editions. Advanced Engineering Mathematics. Explain many concepts about calculus, because here the name of our modules is called Differential Question Complex Variables. Also, we have this. The next books you can refer Bajpai, Bajpai and ACIM, Callas and J.A. Farley. Mathematics, the books is called Mathematics for Engineers and Scientists. Very important book for your life. Or you can also use, in addition, you can use Stroud K.A. This is the also the versions that have been published in 2003. It's called Advanced Engineering Mathematics. You can also use the DAF-D.G, which has been published in 1998, Advanced Engineering Mathematics. So you can use to learn the concepts of differential question complex variable. I guess you can also use the Smith RT and RB Mintos, those are the authors, which has been published in 2003. It's called multivariable calculus, because differential questions is the part of multivariable calculus. Also, you can use a reference book which has been authored by Ramana B.V. of 2007, High Engineering Mathematics. You may also use another book which has been authored by Greenberg, MD, 1998, is called Advanced Engineering Mathematics. Advanced Engineering Mathematics. So that's the name of the book. You can also use online books and materials. You can also use, this is recommended now, you can use Olenjolai M.T. of 2021, Notes of Differential Questions and Complex Variables, that I'll be using on teaching, when I'll be teaching you in each lecture. From lecture 1 onwards, I don't know, possibly might even have more than 40 lectures in differential question complex variables, because you have to cover a lot of stuff. Again, you need scientific calculator, Casio FX 991 MS or any other scientific calculator. It's very important. Sometimes that undergraduate students that we used to say we can do the calculations by using the smartphone, but smartphone cannot work like the scientific calculator. Okay? So we say that this is another, this is the scientific calculator. So this is the example, Casio, it is called Casio FX 991 MSCSAVPAM. So this is the scientific calculator. These are the keypads. In case that you lost it or you sold it, don't worry. You can go to the descriptions of this video and see it, how much does it cost. We used to sell with affordable cost, and we sell the original scientific calculator, so you can have it, and we can ship it in any regions of United Republic of Tanzania, in all the 31 regions. So don't wait, order it online, and then start. We'll send it to you. So that is about the textbook. But again, we have another additional textbook, which is very important. It's called Engineering Mathematics, read by Dr. Manoj Kamar. Engineering, so this is number 11. Engineering, the book is called, very important, and I will use it when I'll be teaching you about complex variable. Because complex variable is the advancement of complex number. The modules didn't say that complex numbers, complex variables. So I'll teach you something new that you've never heard it. Engineering mathematics is a read. Okay? Engineering mathematics, so in brief, in short, Engineering Mathematics 3, and the author is Manoj Kamar. So simply say that Engineering Mathematics 3, Engineering Mathematics 3, the author is Kamar. So Dr. Kamar, very good book. It's an excellent book in complex variables compared to other books that I have gone through. So Kumar, not Kamar, Kumar. So the author is Dr. Kumar. So this is an Indian name, Kumar. So that's the author of this book, Engineering Mathematics 3. Engineering Mathematics 3. You can also, in case you don't have, you can order the photocopy of this book because it's very important. Again, number 12, when we go to question and answer books, first of all, all of these textbooks, they contain questions at the end, but specifically that if you want to know how questions are asked in exams as one of our specific objective, you should have past papers, test 1, the past test 1, test 2, of differential questions, make-up test for differential question complex variable, or university exams. You should have some past papers in final exam. And I will be using almost more than 10 of these references. I will be taking different concepts from all of these references and combine them and produce something which is very interesting and make you to love differential question complex variables. Again, another important learning tool is called tutorial sheets. You should have a tutorial sheets in your hands which contains several questions so you can go through and try to solve yourself. So if you'll be using some, it doesn't mean that you should go through all of this reference material, but at least that you try your level best to go through half of this listing. You'll be in a good position to master engineering and scientific mathematics, and even, yes, you'll be in a good opportunity to say, now I want to combine this knowledge with the spiritual knowledge to solve the real life problems. So that is what I have prepared in reference books and textbook. In case you have anything else, don't hesitate to ask in the comment section. I would like also, soon I would like to take you. Okay, so I would like to take you into the last part of these general introductions of a module called Differential Questions and Complex Variables. And the last part, call it topics or concepts, means to call it topics or chapters of differential question that we'll cover in this module of differential question, differential equations, of differential question and complex variables, complex variables. So first of all, this module has two parts. The first part is called the differential equation, and this is called the ordinary differential equation. Differential equation. Very interesting. And these are advanced or higher level differential equation. So in this chapter, first of all, we have a topic, shortest topic that we call the introduction. So we call it introductions of series. Yes, introductions of series. General introductions of series. And the second topic, the second chapter is called the ordinary and singular. So it's called the ordinary and singular point. So So this is the second chapter. The third chapter, after this one, after teaching ordinary and singular points, I'm going to teach you about the topic we call the power series. Power series, okay? Power series solution of ordinary differential equation, because we'll be solving ordinary differential equation, ordinary differential equation. Ordinary differential equation near the ear ordinary point. Near the ear ordinary point. Ordinary point. So this is the one of the longest topic, and will teach you a very important theorem that we call it in mathematics existence theorem. So we'll teach about the existence theorem, and we have long questions there. Okay? Then I'll teach you the first topic after this, that's called the power series solutions of the near of ordinary differential equation. So the first topic is called the power series. Power series solution. Power series solution of ordinary differential equation. Of ordinary differential equation near. This is near the ear ordinary point. Near other point than, near other point than x is equal to 0. So it means that here we'll be dealing with ordinary point when x is not equal to 0. So x is a certain value. While here we'll be dealing with when x is equal to 0. So I'll teach you what does it mean. Then the fifth chapter. So now this is, we call it, it's one of the longest topic, we call it the power series solution. These are the interesting part, or the interesting thing for this module. It will be comprising long questions. Comprising long questions, so you have to be patient when you will be solving them. So the fifth chapter is called the power series solution. I'll teach you, don't worry that I will be with you. Power series solution. I taught this module for 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. So for 5 years. Power series solution. Power series solutions of ordinary differential equation near the ear singular point. Near the ear singular point. Near the ear singular. Near the ear singular point. Near the ear singular point. So power series solutions of ordinary differential equation near the ear singular point. This is the longest topic. It's the longest topic. I'm going to teach you about case 1. I'm going to teach you about case 2. And case 2, there are 2 subcases. Subcase 1. I'm going to teach you about case 2. Case 2, subcase 2, and I'm going to teach about case 3. Each case there is the longest lecture, I'm telling you. Okay? So the 6th topic in this part A, now I'll take you on to applications of differential equation. And this is called the applications of power series solution of ordinary differential equation. I'll teach you a topic that called applications of power series solution, where we apply in engineering. Power series solutions, we apply to do what? To solve differential equation. Series solutions. Okay, power series solutions. And then the 7th chapter, we teach about Legendre polynomial. Legendre polynomial. This is the French mathematicians. Polynomial. If we'll get enough times, I may teach you even Bessel identities, but that won't be a great deal for this case, because they are. I used to teach my students, but they don't use its concept in final exams or in exams because they're a little bit challenging to derive those Bessel identities. Okay? So then part B of this module is called the complex variables. This is very interesting part of this module. I like it so much because it is taking me from what even the part of differential equations. I liked it very much because it really teaches me differential equation from another perspective. When I was in advanced level, I learned differential equations in different perspective, quite different from this one, because I learned when the coefficients of the derivative of differential equations of second order differential equations are constant. It means are numbers. While here that I'll be learning, I'll be teaching you differential equation, for instance, that is x y square or y double dash plus 4x y single dash plus y is equal to 0. So it means that, you see, the coefficients of derivatives of differential equation are functions. They are no longer they are no longer variables, they are no longer constant numbers. So in part B of the complex variables, first of all, so this will be the 8th chapter. The 8th chapter will teach about the complex variable function, right? So we teach about complex functions, okay? Complex functions, we teach about variables and complex functions. Complex function and complex variables, what do you mean about that? Then number 2 or number 9, we'll teach about differentiation, which will teach you about CRS equations, we call it the Riemann's equation, differentiation, differentiations of what? Of complex function. Complex functions. Then number 10, we'll teach about the Cauchy's integral, or simply that we call it the integral of complex functions. So we call it the integral of complex function. Integrals of complex functions. And then it's the 11th part, or the 11th concept, because integrals will be same, but integrals, residues, CRS equations, etc., etc. So we'll be finishing, or we'll be solving many. So it'll be many questions. So we have a part of problem solving. Okay, problem solving. So problem solving we do in this part of differential equations, and we do also this part of complex variables. So you see how beautiful it is. So stay connected and stay tuned, so that will be breakdowns every concept that I've mentioned there, because we're gonna be together. And I'll let you, I'll make sure that you love the engineering mathematics and you love differential equation complex variables. So that's all about what I've prepared in this general introductions of differential questions and complex variable. I thank God who have been with me during the preparation time. I thank God who have given you an opportunity to watch this video from the beginning to the end. I thank God because He's the one who has given you, who is my witness and giving you confidence and evidence that I will be taking you from point A to point B. And I thank God who will be with you during the learnings of this material, so that you will benefit on them. So I would like to thank you also for taking your time, and thank you also for joining me. I would like to invite you in session 1 of differential questions, because at the first part we are going to start with. So join me. In case you have any questions, don't hesitate yourself to ask in the comment section. Remember to subscribe on our YouTube channel so that you get notifications once you upload any new video, and especially at lecture 1 of differential equations, which will teach you the first topic of introductions of series, which is almost that I'll be teaching you in a different style about sigma notation, so that the next lecture or next sessions after this one. So stay connected, and may God bless you, and I'm really waiting you to join me in the next session. May God bless you, and remember that you have to always train your mind to think differently, and ask yourself, where will you apply this information in your life, and especially that in problem solving of your community where you are come from. So may God bless you. Let us meet in the first session or in lecture 1 of differential questions. May God bless you. See you there.